Citizen Nowhere is almost a contrasting piece with Voices, simply for the fact that it's about one person in isolation. It was made in 2017. I was very concerned about the idea of statelessness, that there were these rules being made about how and where you could exist when actually, you're born to live. This was very nice. I based Citizen Nowhere also on the story of the Little Prince, this soul trying to find his way home. We follow this in a very, very abstract way.
I'm trying my best to be myself, experiencing these things that this character has experienced in the story. Although it's one solo, you see very different moods and emotions in each part. Wonder, discovery, love, but also loss, longing. It's incredibly hard to try to be yourself while you're performing something. It makes you feel vulnerable, I guess. There's definitely large elements of the story that I do relate to. I was born in England, I grew up there, I trained there, I worked there, and I made a decision to move to Germany and start my life here as well. I carry that feeling of belonging in more than one place at once.
It's also the portrait of a dancer, the portrait of an artist, because to dance this ballet, you really have to know who you are and what you are capable of. The courage to do this piece it's really a big ask, actually.
It's a marathon.
When you see somebody on stage give you absolutely everything they have, it's a gift. The pandemic was really strong here in Berlin, and we had to work under a set of rules. There was a sort of fear as well. Everybody was going through their own personal journey of this moment, and it was all part of the process.
Everything had stopped. It was the winter at the time when we started to work. Everything was just in a standby. There was a feeling of such a joy to be able to come back to the studio. But in the same time, there was such a feeling of insecurity of, can we still make a new ballet? Can we still dance? What do we have to say now that everything is just shut down? So in our spirit, in our head, there was a very intense and true, honest feeling about making a piece together with the dancers. It wasn't another creation in a season. It wasn't the normal working routine.
I personally was petrified because we were out of dancing for a very long time.
I was nervous how my body is going to react to it, and of course I believe David also himself was nervous because he's been also away from the studio for a long time.
Well, all beginnings are challenging, so we had to get to know each other also. But that really is the beauty of our work, is that we cannot be anything other than our honest and truthful selves in the studio. The process was a way of discovering people, discovering who we are now, who we are to each other, and what we have become to each other, actually. From January 2021, and how we worked through the winter and the long, long nights that we had. We're never going to forget what happened to us. It was very special, and I don't think it will ever happen again in this way.
I'm going to read you the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the preamble.
When I first heard the new Voices score from Max Richter, its meaning was so powerful. It seemed that we had all been going through a kind of moment in our modern history where we were becoming more thoughtful about how we wanted to move forward as a society.
This music during this period of time was such a way to help us carry on and to see a brighter future.
It was so touching, and I remember crying like in every second rehearsal just because the music was so beautiful. But of course we cannot forget about the Declaration of Human Rights that is being spoken.
Everyone has the right to life, liberty, and security of person.
The text is overall, it's surrounding us as a roof, as a massive aura that is there.
The way the voice sounds, I think it changed the way of your dancing.
The beauty of the movement, the purity of the movement represent the beauty of the text and the overall idea of what are the human rights.
At some point I think we questioned how relevant is dancing when you have a message like this.
It was important to discuss how we feel dancing while hearing the text.
And we spoke about it with David, and he was very open about it, and he wanted this conversation to happen.
The ideal of the Bill of Human Rights, the ideal of Max Richter's music together was just so inspiring to me. And then I thought about the ideal of dance and being able to run alongside those other two very beautiful things.
He took the Declaration of Human Rights and he took it away from the abuse and the injustice, and I think he put it on a background of hope and positivity, and he tries to inspire people to have a conversation about it in a positive way and to aspire to create this equality for everyone.
It gives you a chance to rethink, to care about each other. You cannot dance his ballet without being in a community or being the same journey as the other dancers who you are dancing with or the audience.
In Citizen Nowhere, we see the individual, and how that connects to voices is that the one become the many. We all become him. We all become Citizen Nowhere. We become citizen everywhere. It's my wish that that can happen with this program.